Good morning, all of you. Good morning, all the esteemed panelists. We have all international experts from different countries sharing a dais with us. And also we have an expert from ECGC and also a company based out of US, Ping Pong, with us to share their experience on global market linkages, logistics. So to begin with, I will start with Dr. Opkara regarding, since you know that this exhibition, this conclave is all about promotion of indigenous products, handlooms, handicrafts, textiles, which have been made by our Indian micro, small and medium enterprises. What do you see that how our MSMEs can engage with other MSMEs globally in terms of promotion, in terms of some innovation, technology support, or developing new markets, opportunities for their products?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good morning, all. As you said, my name is Dr. Faido Okpara, and I'm from Nigeria. If you look at it, I tend to say that the world is confronted with the three C's, which I always call COVID-19, then conflicts, and the climate change. These are the three crucial challenges confronting the world. And the MSMEs too are within these challenges. And these tend to affect linkages, it tend to affect the supply chain, it tend to affect market penetration, equally tend to affect the global market, so to say. And the micro, small, and medium enterprises are worst hit. But these three C's challenges can be overcome as regards the way and manner the micro, small, and medium enterprises will move their goods and services, especially the textiles, which we are discussing here, through trade exhibitions, through trade fair, through trade linkages, and so on and so forth. And that is why I think the commercial attaches in the various embassies have a very crucial role to play as regards reaching out to the chambers of commerce in the various countries. I'm happy, I see my friend who is the president of the Asian Africa Chamber of Commerce, and these are means and ways of actually exchanging goods and services within the countries. So I think the MSMEs have great roles to play in these areas. You listen to the lady that talks about the Minister of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises in India. They have tremendous job to do. And he talked about signing an MOU with the MSME agency in Nigeria too. This boils down to market sharing, linking the MSMEs in India with the MSMEs in Nigeria. And I think through these ways, more of their products will reach out to the various countries. And the great challenge affecting micro, small, and medium enterprises when they come to access to market will equally be solved one way or the other. Let me pause here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Dr. Janki, since you have an international exposure, you had been to various countries in the world, you have served, had developed diplomatic relations of your country with other African Union, with the different parts of the world, mostly on the trade aspect as well, on cultural aspect, on political issues. what, as per your experience, do you see that how we, as an Indian community of MSMEs, and the products which you have seen has a potential of linkages in the other parts of the world?
Yeah, thank you very much. The very first thing that I would like to say is, the narrative, and even the narrative about the handloom, about the SMEs, should be changed. Because now, India and even elsewhere, we have to move from survival, We should not go into the SMEs and the handloom industry just to survive. We have to move from survival to integration and globalization. And this is the first step, which is very important. Because we should not look at SMEs as something just to create some employment for some type of people. Because there's a legacy in India when I looked at the type of work, and this should not be lost. Because with changes in technology and with the new generation coming up, I don't know what would happen to that type of intelligence and that type of handicraft, which is the big legacy and the big asset for India. I think this is one aspect that I think India should look at. Try to save this legacy in terms of now coming with IPR, intellectual property rights, trying to look at different types of branding. And in terms of logistics, in terms of, I can see that there's a future for this industry in India, especially after listening to the Joint Secretary of the ministry. But then in terms of the logistic, I think it is very important now that we professionalize through education, through training, we professionalize the industry. And this is very important, the professionalization of the industry, and trying to link, the different sectors, trying to connect the dots, as we say, especially in terms of government agencies abroad, for example, and then through the embassies, being an ambassador, I should say, through the embassies, they should get the right information so that they can inform the other countries about the SMEs. And then market intelligence is very important. It's very important to share information and to give the right information and the best practice to the right people. And then I think trying to sign MOUs between countries, which my friend has already talked, and be meeting, okay? And finally, I have to talk about what is known as the different chambers of commerce. They have to link up. And with digitalization now, it is much easier to share all this information. It is much easier to get all the different stakeholders together, so that I think there is going to be a better future for the handloom and the MSMEs in Mauritius. Not in Mauritius. In Mauritius, obviously, my country, and here in India. And I feel that I'm really impressed, today when I came and trying to look around how things are going on. And I think many other countries have to learn a lot from India. And this is the impression which, I have and going from here. Thank you very much.
Could you also please throw an overview of your present station, which is Russia, and their preferences in terms of our products? Because you have our exposure of being an ambassador, serving in different nations, so you have that, the people preferences and of different culture. So please throw some light.
I think this is a very good question. Being an ambassador, I should tell you now, India and Russia, they are closely related. And now with these sanctions on Russia, there's a big demand for textile and big demand for all types of products elsewhere. And you know that there's this arrangement between rupee and ruble conversion, rupee transactions between Russia and India. I think there's a big opportunities for the small and medium enterprises to enter, to penetrate the Russian market. And this is where I would advise, I think the funds are already given. This is where I would advise something like organize a conclave like this, in Russia. And then I would suggest the different entrepreneurs to participate in the fairs, in the international fairs and forum in Russia, and connect with the chambers of commerce in Russia, because there's many chambers of commerce, and also connect through your embassy, through the Indian embassy, and through the Ministry of MSMEs there. I think these are the ways, and information and website. Now, use the technology. And this is very important. This is, I always keep saying that India has the best of things. The only thing that India is lacking is how to publicize it, how to show it the best way. And this is what is lacking. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Edwina, similar to Dr. Janki, you also have a global experience of coming from European Union and presently stationed at UAE. You have seen both the markets, have been interacted to different countries, have an international exposure. And yesterday you gave a presentation about market entry strategies, that what one MSME or startup should have to explore possibilities of business and also tie-ups or some collaboration or some franchisee licensing in other countries. So what, as per you, should be the ways of our Indian MSMEs to go global? What market linkages they should adopt in order to go global?
Yeah. So first of all, good afternoon all, and thank you for having me here. At this stage, it is said that usually during good time, the regional markets the focus is on regional markets, and during time of recession, the focalization is moving global. We live in a global market where a product is being sold in the United States, but potentially is produced in India with raw supplies coming from China. And the question is, how do we expand this Indian medium and small enterprises? I think first by being visible, and I think this is what we need to do more about. And I had a very interesting conversation this morning. And the more we are becoming visible and the more we show how are we different than other products which are available in the market, we will slowly notice that we'll have customers which are coming to us rather than the other way around. And I think that's the focus, be present in various markets. We have a variety of channels, and I think today the digital environment, the marketplaces, the e-commerce channels are allowing us to be present. We also do have lots of potential tie-up opportunities in different types of ways, being through distributorship, or being through different types of franchises licensing, which are going to enable us to be global. And then the other thing is probably very important is also creating communities of people in different parts of the world which are endorsing the products that we have, because one is a small or medium enterprise company talking about itself and saying, I would want to sell my product, but the other is a community of 1,000 Indian people all using the products, endorsing the products, and starting talking about the products and what that product is bringing into their lives. So I think at the community level, we can potentially do lots of difference.
Thank you so much. My friend, you come from Mauritius. India has recently signed a PTA, Preferential Trade Agreement, between both the countries. It has opened lots of opportunities between both the countries in terms of trades, especially textiles. And then, as we all know, that Mauritius is a gateway to Africa. And then, if we export something from Mauritius to Canada, it does not attract any duty. So how do you see, in terms of logistics, in terms of global market opportunities for our SMEs? And since you also are president of India African Chamber of Commerce, what role do you see to play in future to enhance or strengthen the relationship between both the countries in terms of exports, enhancing exports, and also taking our Indian MSMEs globally, or vice versa? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yash, the moderator. First, allow me to thank the Ministry of Medium Enterprise, Micro and Medium Enterprise, which is doing a lot. And I was impressed to hear the Joint Secretary, Mrs. Mercy, giving so much detail what is going on here. Thanks also to the foundation, Yamkadi Foundation, and all the partners with them, because this conclave is now becoming a reference in the trade forum, I can say, all right? Before coming here, I explained to my friend in Mauritius, I'm going to a trade conclave, and I give them some details about the past event. So they said, wow, we need to have such event in Mauritius. So congratulations to you. Your question is how Mauritius and India can work together. Mauritius, in fact, is nearly an extension of India, because over 40% of people in Mauritius is from Indian generation, right? What I was saying that in Mauritius, we have a unique platform. The unique platform is we are a gateway to Africa. And business from India coming to Mauritius is zero tax. Then you can push it to Africa. And together, myself and other network, we can facilitate it. I was talking to one of the participants here in the blockchain. Sorry, I forgot his name. From the blockchain sector, right?
Samveer.
Yeah, sorry, thank you. So I was talking with him. I was so impressed. He has been set up in a few years, but he has deployed wonderful technology in the telecom sector. I am from the telecom company, right? I will be inviting my friend to hurry up to come to Mauritius, because the government of Mauritius just finalized the compliance and regulatory in the blockchain sector, and the Bank of Mauritius is finalizing everything. Please come on, because there is opportunity. As the Asian African Chamber of Commerce, we have the platform in Mauritius and in Africa. We can facilitate. Mauritius, we have what we call the offshore sector. From the offshore sector, the enterprise here, I invite the SME not to look only in a narrow mind. Just go outside the border and get the collaboration of others. We are here to help. So I want also to say, right, the landscape is really changing in the world with three phenomenon factor, right? The climate change, which is affecting, sometimes some SME is in a fatal situation in certain remote areas. The second special thing coming with war crisis and so on, and we as SME, we are largely affected, right? Now there is a technology, if we don't adapt, we will not survive. So what I want to say, the SME is playing, and I think has been playing a bigger role, right? In a number of regions, let me conclude on this. During this pandemic, the logistic of India passed a very, very big test that we cannot imagine, right? Such a big test that the heart of a number of countries of the world was touched when India sends a vaccine to Brazil, and the president of Brazil, Joyce Sonaro, even go all around his country, right, saying that the Sanjeev Vani tree from Maluman came to Brazil to bring this vaccine. So we were impressed of this logistic you have. And this can be exported, and this knowledge, right? So this is my contribution. We in Mauritius, we have a number of agreement with the SADC, Southern African Development Communities, with the COMESA, benefit from this, because this will help you to position you in Africa, and Africa is a target. Africa is a target. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, coming to Mr. Kumar, you represent ECGC, which is a Government of India enterprise, and you give lots of relaxation to the exporters, including first-time exporters, and help them to save their money by insuring their products. So could you please throw some lights? We have lots of MSMEs over here who are looking forward for either they are first-time exporters or they are already exporting. What benefits ECGC provides to them, and what do you think that how you can help them in their exports?
Yes. So good afternoon, everybody. As I told, my name is Alok Kumar and representing basically ECGC of India Limited. I think few of you may be aware what we do, but I will give a very brief introduction, because established in 1957, we give credit protection to the Indian exporters who exports to different countries on various terms of payment, because credit risk is one of the major risks in any export business. Our second vertical is that whenever you seek finance from any bank, particularly public sector banks, we also extend our protection to all the public sector banks. So once you approach any bank for any export-related finance, banks in turn get approval from ECGC Limited. So these two verticals are maybe you are interested in. Thirdly, we also do the country underwriting, like we do the rating of the countries. Which country we should be liberal in exports, which country you should exercise cautious in while exporting. So these are our basic profile which we do. Coming to sir questions, see, what are the challenges in front of any MSME exporters as such? You want to reach the desired market and get the best of your returns or the best of your price. So to reach any export destination, Government of India is having enough schemes, enough conferences, like you may have, some of you may have joined FIOs and other organizations who facilitate you in reaching the required destination market. Now to get the best of your product or to get the best of your margins, what you need, you are supposed to extend credit to your buyers. Because for any exports business or any business as such, it just starts from the advance payment. Because you say, you give me payment, I will send you the goods. In export business, what you do, you insist for advance payment. Secondly, you come to LCs transactions. But ultimately, any export business will reach to the direct credit. Because here, the most of the business is done on the credit basis. So when you started extending credit, that is the maximum risk which you are willing to offer to the, or willing to take. So here the roles of ECGC comes in between. So whenever you export to any destination, we provide you the credit protection, as well as before even start up your export transactions, like if when you are negotiating for with any buyer, first time buyer had reached you and you are negotiating. Now what you are supposed to do, you are supposed to check the credentials of the buyer, how the buyer is good, bad, whether you are going to get your payment in time or not. So there also ECGC helps you a lot, because we have a database for last 60 years. And all these data we maintain on our website. So suppose a buyer X from a country reach you for any order. You can just come to our website and verify whether buyer is listed in our caution list or not. If buyer is listed in our caution list, that is the first indication that you should better avoid that transactions, or you consult ECGC that you want to export to that particular buyer. Secondly, for country also, because right now the demands are in Africa, in Mauritius, in US, in Europe. You as a SME, you may not be aware about the political development which is happening in African countries or European countries. So we very dynamically, we do the country rating also. So we advise you, like when Russia was put under sanction by European countries, a lot of exporters were afraid that whether my export are secured or not. Then we came in between, we said, no, that is a different thing. We are not talking about any political development here, but your payment is secure if you have ensured your transactions with ECGC. So these are, and you can, it's always advisable because we are highly sponsored by Government of India. And all the credit protections, the premium are shared by Government of India also, and that is on very subsidized rate. So to give an advice, please avail ECGC services to secure your business. That is the best thing you can do to safeguard your interest and your employees also. Coming to the recent development, like our Secretary Madam just explained that MSME Ministry has launched something capacity building program. So for that, ECGC is one of the implementing agencies. So capacity building for the first time exporters, what we are doing, like for first year, whatever cost you need to bear for export related insurance or credit insurance, you will be getting 100% reimbursed up to the 10,000 rupees. So we can say that you are getting a credit protection insurance free of cost. So please avail this opportunity, don't let it go. And just we are formalizing how to proceed further on this. But it has been announced by the government, and we have also been instructed to approach to MSME exporters on this scheme. So this is a new initiative. Please come to us, or you can reach us. We can formalize how to go ahead with this. So for any export business, I will insist and I will suggest that please consult with ECGC, insured with ECGC, and secure your transactions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I just would like just throw some more light, as you have mentioned that in case if I am selling a product to a buyer, the buyer listed on your website, what all details can I access? Is it his name, his occupation, his company, his email ID, mobile number? What all information is publicly available on the domain?
So information publicly available is like whether the buyer is in our caution list or not. That is the basic.
Only the name of the buyer.
Name of the buyer and address also you can see. So you can match it. But once you are a ECGC member, all other details also you get. Like sometimes we advise exporters that you should not do business on credit terms. You should do business on advance payment and some other terms of payments. So all these facilities are given to the exporters.
Okay, thank you. Now we have our special panelist with us. She represents a company from US, Ping Pong. I would like you to now throw that some light on your company's initiative, how you are helping the exporters, ensuring the payments of the exporters and the other benefits which your company is offering for the startups and the other MSMEs in the MSME sector for exports.
Thank you, Yash. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kinjal, and I lead the e-commerce and the offline segment for India, Ping Pong. I've already gone through the details. I'm pretty sure everybody have got a great knowledge here. By listening to them, I can see I am really honored to be a part of this panel. When it comes to payment solutions, what we help you to do is post what they can guide you. So once you start exporting, once you've already started trading in different countries, we can help you to receive the payments in India for a global market, you can say. Now, payment is a very basic thing that we can definitely help you with, but understanding that India is growing into exports now, especially for MSMEs, we help you with a different segment. We have created our own ecosystem where we will be able to help you in terms of guiding you with your product range, in terms of expanding your different categories. We can help you with the different countries where you can geographically grow. So we'll have a dedicated person assigned to you. You will be able to do the market research, understand if that really fits your need. And based on that, we will help you build your brand. So it's not just the payment solution that we provide, we also help you build the overall export production that you can do, global level. So that's the major thing that we help you with.
Thank you so much. Now, coming back to you, that as you have, as now you know that we have a company which provides credit support, we have another organization which helps you to receive the payment. We are doing so much for our, what in your thoughts you feel that what is the way forward for our Indian MSMEs with Nigeria as a country in terms of collaboration, in terms of MOUs?
Thank you very much. You see, payment is normally a very big challenge when it comes to global trade or international trade. because these have to do with the internationalization of the currency. If you look at the rupees here in India and the naira in Nigeria are not international currencies. And when it comes to the conversion of the naira to the dollars or to the euro or to the pounds that would be acceptable to the Indian businessman, it becomes a very crucial problem. And that is why in Nigeria too, part of, to smoothen the trade between India and Nigeria, we have to look basically at the mode of payment. Because when there are pressure on the dollars, it tends to affect the exchange rate. So if they can agree on a particular volume of rupees and naira, it will smoothen the trade rather than relying on a currency that is not ours. When there are pressure on the dollar or on the pounds or on the euro, then the exporters tend to lose. Because in this case now, you have to get more dollars to get less rupees, or you have to get more dollars to get less naira. It becomes an issue. And that is why part of the crucial thing that we are discussing AFTAC. AFTAC is the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, whereby the 54 African countries are coming together to ensure that we have a more inter-African trade. The crucial thing too we are facing there is the exchange rate, the naira volume, and the dollar volume, which is a problem. But again, in terms of trade between Nigeria and India, and not only that too, in terms of trade whereby Indians are trying to move their goods and services out of their country, they should rely more too on the diaspora. The diaspora in various countries is a very huge community. Like in the Americans have it that Nigerians are more populated in the US. And if you look at the product too, we are using our diaspora in moving our goods and services to the American market through the through AGOA. And again, these two, the Indians can explore. I have been to the US in many places. The Indians are much there too. So why can't we use our diaspora to move our goods, especially the wearing apparel, the textile items? It is a very crucial area. Again, my friend here mentioned about visibility, platform, digitalization, technology. It's a very crucial area. But again, how do you mobilize the MSMEs at the rural areas to access or to use some of this media? And I think that is a very big problem for the chambers of commerce and for associations like WASME to galvanize and bring together some of these rural entrepreneurs who are not used to the internet, they are not used to technology, they are not used to digitalization, but how can we assist them to ensure that they do this? And the lady there mentioned about the women chambers of commerce. Women too play a very crucial role. Like in Nigeria, if you look at it, the MSME are dominated by women. About 54% of the MSMEs are women in Nigeria. How do we assist them? How do we equally link our women here with the Indian women for them to exchange trade, for them to exchange services? I think chambers of commerce, as I said earlier on, and the diaspora community too, is very boostable, and the e-commerce platform. We should try as much as possible to see how we can expand this to accommodate the rural entrepreneurs.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And also, Dr. Janki, it was a very noble idea. As you have mentioned, and you have invited to hold a similar conference, a global conference in Russia. And we have our other colleagues from Dubai and also from Mauritius. If we can plan something similar in your countries, or we can all join you in Russia, and then I think there's a South Africa. So we would be happy, but we would like to have more and more engagement of our women entrepreneurs to participate, the MSMEs, in such global conferences. And we have Ms. Sakina Ansari and the other women ladies entrepreneur who are leading the women's across India in all the parts of the states, and they have a huge network. And They are sector agnostic. They are not only limiting to handlooms, but they are sector agnostic. So this is something which is a great and noble thought. We welcome your idea, and we will look forward to collaborate and work.
If you allow me to add something.
Please do.
Yes. As a president of WASME, World Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, I would invite all of you, all the businessmen here, all the enterprises here, if you can register with WASME, become a member of WASME, because you know WASME now is offering lots of services in different directions, and we have a very good WASME team. The Secretariat is doing a very good work in order to promote, in order to disseminate information, in order to link up not only the buyers and sellers in India, but even abroad. Even recently, we had a buyers and sellers meet from Mauritius at WASME House. So I think I would request you, if you need more information, you can contact the WASME team here and also go on our website. And this is from the President, and I would request you to
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now, since we have a paucity of time, so I would like each one of you to just share your thoughts, and so that we can wrap up. Thank you.
Because I love stories, and I think you'll remember something from stories, I want to tell you a few things. I started my Harvard OPM journey this year in May, and I reached there, and there are only 10% women, and I thought probably I don't belong there. Plus, there are very big businesses. And then I thought for a moment that 5 years or 7 years back, there was only 1% women. And then maybe it's my place after all. And 2 days in the program, I felt at home. On the contrary, I think I learned lots of things. And on Harvard Business School, in my 3 weeks of being there, they have discussed, out of maybe 15 case studies, 3 were of amazing Indian businesses which went global. First was the Oberoi case study, where the focus was on customer excellence. And the second was the Oyo, which was well known by being global in no time. And the third business case study was on Fab India, which was an amazing social foundation, people which wanted to focus on artisans, and how they made it global and how they got LVMH to buy 8% of the company. So bottom line is, I think India has a ton of smart people, and if there is a wish, there is a way. Probably one thing which is food for thought and maybe we need to think on is, one, have we gone on the drawing board and understand where do we want to reach, or we just said, let's fight for survival? 2, do we have the right focus? And third, how do we get buy-in from our team, because we can't do it alone, but with all the support here, all the support in our companies, all the governmental support, all the expert support, we can reach where we want to reach.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
I seen during my visit to the expo, one of the participants who produce clovers with banana leaves. This impressed me, and this put me to my thinking that in the past, people were wearing only leaves on us. And we are just back, that's right. And I was sharing with my friend, the High Commissioner, I intend seriously to set up one small enterprise in India. I will be coming and setting up in India because I have a brand, I have my own brand, which actually is being doing in other countries. I will try to bring it here and try to see how my brand can emerge from here, and with the collaboration of the SME, position it in other countries. Actually, we are doing it in Italy, but now I will set up this SME here.
It was a great announcement. Ensure to get incubated at NFDI under the leadership of Dr. Nigam and Dr. Vasundhara. Yeah, sir, Dr. Kumar, please.
Yeah. So to all SMEs, my only advice will be that we all know no risk, no gain. And business is a risk, we all know. But we take it for our betterment, for the betterment of society. Take the risk, but it should be a calculated risk. Because we, in our 60 years of our journey, we have seen corporations grow, MSMEs grow, and also we have seen the business failures also, because of the various reasons. So you need to protect yourself. Just to share a success story, we had an exporter who started as a MSME some 30 years back. Means they were very small scale they started. Now they are one of the leading exporters of leather in the world from Chennai itself. I will avoid naming them, but the biggest brand of the leather brand you purchase from the different countries, from Italy and all, they are all manufactured in Chennai. That should be a proud moment for all of us. But when they started business, they secured themselves, and even after 30 years, they are in full-fledged business, full-fledged exports only. But they are secure, they are with ECGC, they are with ministries, and they do a very ethical business. With that, I conclude my, thank you.
Thank you so much. Now it's time for, I think we are done with this session. May I request the MC to facilitate our guest.
Thank you so much, sir, for moderating this very informative panel. I now request you to please felicitate our speakers who have joined us for the day. Mr. Sivin Siloi. A warm round of applause from the audience, please. Dr. Friday Okpara. Mr. Alok Kumar. And Ms. Tendril. My heartfelt thanks to all the speakers who have joined us for this panel discussion. We will now take a short tea break and reconvene in about 10 minutes so that we can start with the next part of the program.